Hello.
Um,
Hello.
Hello. So I would just like to add, like before we begin, like the introductions and everything, that Andy did fall asleep and I had to call him and text him until he woke up.
I
So
just knew he was I just knew you were sleeping.
shame
I'm
on me.
an
Um,
empath.
Listen, I put an alarm and I wasn't even planning on going to sleep because I it was so close to the time of the Zoom meeting that I was like, there's no point in even sleeping. But I guess I just closed my eyes and then I went to sleep.
So you still chose to sleep. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, some of us, even though we were tired, like me and Sasha, we powered through it because
I even rushed through homework.
it shows commitment, something that some of the people in this call, aka you, lack.
Andy.
Okay, well, we all make mistakes and it's good to just push through them.
Some more than others.
This is not a mistake that you should have made. Do
Yeah,
better.
embarrassing.
Well, um, uh, wait a minute. What are you wearing, Sasha?
My UF.
Oh.
Go Gators.
No, shame on you. But anyways,
You don't even know the
um,
Knights thing.
what?
Sasha, I just want to add that your audio quality is like not the best.
Okay, then hold on, let me fix it.
Okay.
You guys didn't want to tell me this before I started talking?
We wanted to stay positive because we love you and we want to support you, but like we also can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just off myself. Got it.
While that's happening, hi guys, welcome back to the AM podcast. I'm Melanie,
Oh,
and this is
Eddie.
oh my God. And today we have a very special guest with us,
Sasha. Eh,
the Usher. Yeah.
uh,
Fun fact, she's actually related to Usher, the real.
don't start
yep.
rumors.
But we want to keep it on the DL because we're trying to keep her a secret, and utilize her for our podcast so
Yeah.
we can gain followers.
Yes. Um, so we're here. Um,
True. That's facts.
we are here.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, wait. Also, I just want to say, Melanie, your wall is not completed, and I was under the impression that it was fully done,
Oh,
Um,
but you lied.
it is. So like fun fact about me is that I started that wall like when I was in like the 8th grade. And there's like over like 500 pictures on that wall, and I just really don't feel like finishing it. But new year, new me, 2023. So like one of my goals this year is to finish it because it's honestly like it's getting a little sad. Like
that's a sad goal.
it's one of my many goals. I have a lot of them, so don't judge me,
Yeah,
please.
none that you can actually complete,
Um,
but
wrong. I'm an academic weapon.
I
So
also do want to say, just for reference, she said that she started this wall when she was in eighth grade, and she is now in her freshman year. So
okay, well,
she,
I don't remember exactly if it was like freshman year, 8th grade, but it was somewhere along that time frame. But I know for sure that I will finish it.
well,
Yeah,
hopefully your
you're
life is.
a little behind.
I was gonna say that hopefully your life gets cut short so you can't finish making the.
That's crazy. That's
Okay.
wild to admit on a public platform in front of many people.
In front of like your demographic is definitely gonna cancel you.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Um,
Hashtag
my
women.
my demographic is actually furries. And the furry community
Also,
stands behind me.
you're saying that furries,
Fairies can go suck it.
wow, that was yeah, she's right. I'm kidding. Respect,
Wow.
kindness. But you're basically saying that furries like they agree with murder, is what you're trying to say.
Ooh.
So you're
I don't really know when I said that.
Oh, you actually like basically implied that like 3 minutes ago when you said the furry community backed you in my murder. So,
Oh, that's true.
oh my God, guys, he's having connection issues. That's crazy.
So, there was something you wanted to talk about, Melanie.
Yes. So I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna act like this case is so underground because it's literally not.
It
So
literally is.
if you're on TikTok or like Instagram or on Twitter or literally on any like social media platform, you have probably heard about the Idaho murders, not murderers. But it's crazy. Like the whole entire thing is so wild to me because you never think that it like can happen to you until it does. And like this case is just it's so crazy. So I'm gonna kind of go over some of like the basic overviews of the case. So like 6 weeks ago, or like more time probably, 4 University of Ohio students were found like stabbed to death on November 13th at a home in Moscow, Idaho. And they didn't really have a suspect until like literally 2 weeks ago. Why are you guys laughing? Andy, why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
Be serious.
I'm not laughing. I'm sorry.
No, because
Respect.
I feel invalidated now.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay, so what do you guys know about the case? Do you guys know anything?
I know a few things. But Andy can go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I also know a few things, probably more than Sasha. But I do know one thing that's crazy. Actually, I feel like I shouldn't bring this up right now because it's not that important to the whole general idea. So Sasha, you go first.
I do know that this murder, he was like a criminology student
Mhm.
at WSU, University of Washington. So like I find that a little crazy, considering the fact that he's a murderer himself. And also how I know how they found him too. The way that they found him was crazy.
It was
That's as far as my knowledge goes.
he was also like conducting like a study about how people like react to like I'm pretty sure it was like how they feel like when they commit like acts of crime.
Like decision making or something.
Yeah, like their decision making, like how they feel before, how they feel after. So I think it's really interesting. It's almost like he took matters into his own hands, quite
Yeah.
literally, and he decided to like I don't know. The whole entire
I
thing is
literally murdered 4 people.
4 people, and then it's also crazy when you like look at the layout of like the place where they were murdered. It was a 3-story place,
Mhm.
and there was like surviving roommates. One of the roommates, or I don't know if it's one or two of them, they survived. And that's so crazy because how do you kill 4 people and then like one of them just like
Apparently one of them, I think it was either one of them that was murdered or one of them that was like in the house, that they were like scrolling on TikTok and then like she just ordered DoorDash or some food.
it was one of
And
them.
I think it was like, yeah.
Yeah,
So I find that kind of sad. Like imagine just scrolling through TikToks minutes before you're about to die. I've seen
Wait,
that.
but the one that who ordered the DoorDash wasn't one that died. It was one of the surviving roommates.
Oh, then I
'Cause
got
they
my
got her
information confused.
they got her like her I forgot what that's called, but they like
Your
got
alibi.
testimony.
is it that? Is it testimony out? I don't know. But whatever. She like spoke to them and she said that she like ordered DoorDash around like 4 or whatever AM, or I might be making that up, but it's around that time. And she hears like a noise. So I think she opens the door and then she hears at one point one of the ones that did die saying that there was somebody in the house. And so then she goes like back in the house or whatever, and then she keeps hearing stuff. So she opens the door again. And this time she sees the killer walk past her, basically. Like she stares at him and he walks past her and doesn't do anything to her. And she was like frozen. So she goes back in her dorm, locks herself in, and didn't call 911 up until like hours later. I'm not sure the exact number, but
It was around 7 a.m. or like 8 a.m., which is crazy because apparently like the murders were committed around like 4 a.m., obviously. And like that was also like the last time that one of the girls was active on TikTok was around that time. So that's why like they're estimating it that it was around that time that they were murdered. And I don't understand like how one guy overpowers. It was like two of them were in the same room, and they were, I'm pretty sure that her name was Kaylee, and I'm not sure what the other victim's name was, but they were on the third floor, I believe. So it's like, how do you walk all the way up to the third floor? You kill people, and like the roommate's room was like kind of like close by. And I feel like I live in a two-story house, and I can hear everything that goes on downstairs, and like obviously like in the rooms near me. So it's just, I don't know, like it's fishy. I'm not saying that like the roommate was involved, because that's like very insensitive. Obviously they've also been like a lot of trauma, but I think it's just also really interesting how he also walks past the roommate. And a lot of people were speculating whether like after you kill someone, like you're in such like a mindset and like a high that your brain kind of blocks out like your surroundings.
Yeah, but I feel like I understand the girl that didn't like call until later because first of all, that's traumatizing. Imagine being in the same house as a killer. In that moment, you're like, what do I do? You know, like do still in shock. It's just I don't even know how he broke in, if I'm being totally honest. Like I don't even know how he got in to the house. But
Also, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if he came through the front door, like what the situation was, but I think at first it was speculated that he had entered by the room, the one of the surviving roommates, because they were on the first floor, and it was like speculated that he entered through the first door, so he had to get through that roommate in order to reach everybody else that he killed. But I also don't think she was part of it, just mainly because I feel like it's just more incriminating for yourself to wait that long to call 911 if you were in fact guilty of being part of that. So that's why I just don't really think so. And also, one of their friends, I think his name is Dylan. I might be completely wrong about that, but I think his name is Dylan. He was like low key being accused of being part of it, or like being the killer. And he was like basically his whole life was getting ruined because of all these rumors, and even his family was like involved in how people were calling him the killer. And I think maybe true crime should kill themselves.
Wow,
mm,
what a wild statement to make.
Um,
okay.
I
Um,
think, I don't know. I don't think true crime should kill themselves. I think that a lot of them just like they jump to conclusions really quickly, and they start like going after people. And it's like, unless you're like a police officer or like someone like directly involved in the case and you know all the details, you probably shouldn't be making accusations on the internet for like everyone to see, because obviously that could ruin someone's life. And then also like they try to do like their own little like detective work, and like while doing that they could also like ruin part of the case and like cause harm. Because if you're saying like, oh, the murder happened between like 11 and like 2 like AM or whatever, it can be, they can get false tips, and it's just like a whole entire like slew of things. So it's just so stupid.
what does it say? One of the things that detectives did do with Koberger, they checked his phone data. Like they checked like what time he would turn it off, what time he turned it on, and that's how like they kind of predicted what time around the murder was, when he got into the house. And then sorry, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something very crucial, but I forgot.
well, we're not all smart enough to maintain a thought in our head.
Oh, it was about one of the people. So one of the girls that got stabbed, someone like she heard a whimper, and I think it's the same girl you're talking about, Auntie or Melanie, but
Yeah, I
she
think so.
hiding in her room and she heard like a whimper, and she like saw the guy pass by her
Yeah, yeah,
room.
yeah.
So I feel bad for them because obviously that's like a traumatizing experience. I'm just glad they found the murderer.
Yeah, it took them a while to find him. And honestly, they wouldn't have found him. The only reason that they found him was, well, like one of the reasons they found his DNA on
Mhm.
like the sheath of the knife that he used. They found it, which is so weird, because at some point you have to wonder if like he wanted to get caught for like the notoriety, because there was no other like evidence. That was the only piece of evidence that
I don't
they
think he wanted to get caught. I think he just got like lazy, like through the thing
I mean,
because he didn't leave his evidence anywhere else.
exactly. You kill 4 people, you don't leave evidence, and then you like drop the the sheer of like there's no way. Like if you've been up until this point so like meticulous and doing all that, how do you accidentally like leave it or like forget about it? I don't know. I feel like he low-key left it on purpose.
I
I think
mean,
he left it on purpose, but because it was like a premeditated murder, he wanted to get caught because of like his research or whatever. This was, in my opinion, I think this was planned. Like
I
everything,
think
like
that
opening the sheath or whatever.
I think that maybe um instead, if it wasn't planned for him to get caught, I mean, I feel like it's not hard to miss out on covering up for yourself, especially when we know that he basically walked past another roommate and didn't do anything to her. So maybe he was nervous, or maybe he was just like ready to get out of there. And then that's why he left the sheath of the knife and then just didn't do anything to the other roommates. Um, but there was something else. Oh, that they low key knew that he was the killer for a minute before releasing it to the public.
Yeah, they were like
Be-
keeping an eye on him or something.
yeah, they were keeping track on him for a 5 minute. There was something else I was gonna say.
The only way they were keeping track on him because they obviously had a suspect, but it's because of his DNA. So they collected his DNA, checked criminal records, but apparently he didn't have any criminal records. So they checked public records for like matching DNA, and they called his aunt or uncle, one of the two, and they're like, yeah, I know somebody in Idaho, and then they kept track on him, and then later he was pulled over by a cop, and his dad was just telling him everything, like
Yeah.
everything. And obviously the dad is oblivious, and some people do think that the dad knew, but he was like trying to keep it on the low. And that's what like Melanie was mentioning, that people just make accusations and then just to, like ruin somebody's life. Like that can ruin his dad's life.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting like how the family of like murderers are affected after obviously like they get caught and whatever. But I was gonna say something. The make of his car. Someone had seen the car and they had been looking for the car for weeks. But I'm pretty sure that like the car, because his parents live like outside of I'm like forgetting the name. Whatever. They knew the make of the car, and then that's apparently why the police like pulled them over, is because the car was like the one that they had been looking for. But there's like a lot of things in the case that are like very interesting. Like he followed both of the victims, of two of the victims, the girls, he followed them on Instagram. And also when they checked the cameras, like the street cameras, they had found out that he had been like past that house and like past that area like weeks prior. Like he was like driving around that area, and like a lot of people are saying like, oh yeah, he was like planning it out, he was scoping the area. So
Also, I remember what I was gonna say. I also don't know how this actually holds up, if it's like necessarily true or if it's just something I saw that's made up. But they said that I think it was like a restaurant owner. Oh, it was in a bar, I think, that he would be really like nasty to women in bars. And like if they didn't want to do anything with him, like he would get visibly upset. And even like the people in the bar like knew that he was weird. And I guess they had like messages left for customers, and they had like a message left for him saying that he was like weird, to keep an eye on him. So that's something. And also he said that he doesn't like feel any emotions, and he doesn't even feel a connection with his family. So basically he's just literally a psychopath. And I wonder what is the qualification for being a serial killer? Like, do you have to kill more than once, or like what's the qualification for that?
I think so. I think it's killing someone more than once. I think
Killing in
like
series.
just one murder is just murder. But
Let me check to see.
and there's like
but apparently this happened on my birthday, November 13th.
yes, it did.
I did not know that. I thought it happened like Thanksgiving week, but it happened before. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's 3 or more. So he did 4.
Yeah, he's a serial killer. But in the video where the police is like questioning both of them, you can see him visibly get mad, like and like angered over his father because his father was telling him that they were coming down from University of Washington, which is not where they were murdered. They were University of Idaho. But I think University of Washington has some correlation with it, and you can just see him getting mad. So he's definitely a psychopath.
Yeah.
He has that
And
look in his eyes.
true, yeah, he does look kind of creepy.
A lot of people, this girl that went to high school with him, like she came out and she said that like he's always had like very like dead eyes, and that everyone in high school kind of like there, like she said there had always been like something off about him, which like I guess whenever there's a serial killer, everybody comes out and they're like, oh my god, like I knew there was something off about him. But yeah, like a lot of them have had like creepy experiences or like just bad like energy. And it's true that a lot of people came like forward and they said that he was a misogynist, like he treated women like shit and he didn't take no for an answer. Like if you tried to deny him, like he kept insisting. And that's crazy to me. Like,
Maybe that's why most of the murders were probably women, because it was 3 girls and 1 boy, right? So maybe like, I don't know, the boy was like trying to defend them or something and was caught in the crossfire or something. Because
Probably because he was dating one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. But we don't know yet because I don't think they've released any important information or details yet like that.
the
Yeah,
court,
there's a lot.
Like they haven't confirmed if there was another killer because he did pass a comment like, was there anyone else arrested or detained?
I don't think
Um,
anyone else was involved. I think who was it? There was like this other serial killer, very famous. I think his name is Gary something. There's a serial
Was he a gay man?
I don't know. Yes.
I know who you're talking about. Frick, I forgot his name.
When he got caught for his crimes, he said that he had an accomplice. But in reality, it was just him and like no other accomplices were ever like caught or whatever. He was just trying to like throw them off of, you know?
Yeah. I've heard people like I've seen it around on social media. Like he probably passed that comment because he knows how detectives work. Like he just said that to throw them off, just to like, I don't know, prolong the process of whatever.
also, so I searched it up, and basically, like the qualification in general is that they have to have killed 3 or more people over a span of a month. So I don't necessarily know if that applies to him just because he killed everybody in one day.
So then would he
So
be like a mass murderer?
I guess, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. But I mean, he is showing signs of like being a psychopath or like a sociopath of some sort, like having some sort of situation like that. So I guess maybe that does qualify him as a serial killer, but I'm not really 100% sure.
There's definitely something wrong. I mean, you're out here murdering people. There has to be something.
Yep.
I think he also just wanted like to kill somebody because there's no way you just want to kill somebody for like a research paper. Like that's stupid.
True, yeah, like I want to kill people, but it's not like because of a research paper. It's because of anger. But the difference is I don't go through with it. So
That's very interesting.
Staying very far away from you.
Yeah, it's really interesting how you just openly admit these things while we're talking about like a mass murderer.
Oh, literally.
I was gonna add something before that confession came out. On the scene of the crime, there was blood dripping out of the walls. Like,
thank you for the visuals.
that's horrible.
Thank you for that.
That's horrible. I can't even imagine like how much blood must have been in the crime scene for them to be literally outside of the wall. Like,
Also, did you guys see that thing about that dad who drove his whole family off of a cliff?
yes.
And they
and
all
the Tesla?
survived.
Yes.
Yeah, and they all survived.
Yes, they plunged like 250 feet.
How does that even happen? Like,
That's crazy. That's also like premeditated.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, like the dad purposely did that?
Yeah.
They're looking into it. I don't know.
But that, like, how awkward is that? Like, you just try to kill everybody and everybody's
literally.
alive. You're like, well,
My plan didn't go as planned.
no, yeah, but I don't know. That's so sad. But also, how did they not die?
Did you guys see the car though? The car was like destroyed and they
Yeah.
all survived.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they had to have like serious injuries because, like, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Crazy. No, did you guys also hear about this little girl that she was raped and then murdered by a UPS driver? Yes, like it happened recently. I don't remember what state, but it was like this 6-year-old girl that was raped and murdered. I think she was coming home from school. I don't want to spread false information, but like I think she was just outside somehow, and the UPS driver like raped and murdered her. I'm like, there's some crazy people,
There is
and
some-
everyone is dying. Like, why? Just don't die.
Well,
society is criminals.
society is definitely crumbling. I'm gonna this is really unrelated, but I want to show you guys the stickers I have on my water bottle.
This is so unnecessary.
It's a waste of my time.
Since we're all sharing unnecessary things, I'm gonna share this like applesauce. That's like really good.
I love Go-Go Squeeze.
Yeah, I just had one. I looking want like another one because I had like a little pre-snack before the podcast because that's just how I roll.
So here's my water bottle.
We can't really see
I
it.
can't really see it. Is that
This
the
one says life is fresh, crack is whack. This one is the American flag with a bunch of like bodies. I interpret this as genocide. And then I found this one funny. It's like a bunch of pregnant people holding up like a baby floating. So I just thought that was really funny. So I put it on.
Okay, so you just found women pregnant funny. That's so immature.
It's so funny that us being in pain for 9 months, losing our teeth, losing our hair.
No, literally rotating our freaking hearts. Like literally, like our hearts do like a
Can
180.
we actually talk about how crazy pregnancy is? You literally can lose your teeth, your hair, you
Hair
can
falls
die.
out. No, literally. I don't think a reason 52 why I don't want a child.
No, literally. And I don't know why, like there's like a girl on TikTok, she's keeping a list of like all the reasons like why you shouldn't.
That's
Like
me. It's all in here.
I saw that.
that's crazy.
Also the way that like we all consume the same media.
Yeah, same algorithms.
That's what I'm saying. Well, but the
I
thing
think
is,
algorithms are crazy. You want to know something? I searched up one thing on TikTok. I was like, vacations to Belize, and I saw 5 TikToks after.
where
like,
the fuck is Belize?
you know that's where I'm from, right? I'm from Nicaragua and Belize.
Okay, let's look up a map because I need to know where this is.
It's in Central America, both of them.
How do
by
you even fucking spell
Mexico.
Belize?
B-E.
Oh, I found it.
Wow, you're so fucking dyslexic.
Um,
Central America by Ecuador, Mexico, Nicaragua. I don't have any other Central American states. I mean, yeah, states.
It's really pretty. I've heard of it, but I've never really done like research on it. It's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going this summer.
Ooh.
oh, well, good for you because American tourist shot dead in Belize.
It's okay, we're native
Oh.
there.
It's okay, she's Belizean.
Okay,
Exactly.
true. True. But yeah, talking about algorithms. If you guys saw my new video, I do talk about algorithms and how they could be racist. And I think that's crazy because have you guys like played around with AI art, like AI generated art?
Little bit.
Oh, on TikTok I have.
Well, yeah, like on TikTok, whatever, anything like that. Those things come from the internet, so they could literally like be racist because they just gather what the internet gathers. So they could just literally be like homophobic, racist, etc. Like that's insane to me, number one. And number two, what are the implications of how AI will overtake the world and then target minorities?
What? Where did you come up with that?
Listen, it makes sense.
No.
I don't think it would take like kill minorities or whatever. There'll probably be like microaggressions, but nothing like that severe.
I mean, but if AI and just robots in general, if they do take over the world, then what's stopping them from being racist?
Well, I mean, if robots are taking over the world, I think that's like the least of our worries. I think we might as well all die because we're all gonna
You think
die.
the least of the worries is that minority groups are targeted?
No, I'm saying like, okay,
Sasha, what do you think about this?
okay, listen to
Okay,
me.
I think what Melanie said is like not like agreeable. I think that AI taking over the world is a big issue, but like not like targeting minorities.
See, like
You'd be
that's
surprised.
okay, that's kind of like,
I think you're the one that's producing those fucking AIs.
yeah. I think what I'm trying to say is that like if robots are taking over the world, like we might as well accept our fates because we're all gonna die. Like it doesn't really matter.
No, because we program them to do whatever. So
Yeah,
if we program them to take over the world, then we can simply undo it.
Okay, I have a question for you. Are you Jeff Bezos?
Fucking Jeff Bezos runs Amazon, does not have robots.
How are you gonna unprogram a robot once they gain consciousness? They will be
Oh, let's talk about consciousness and how Andy believes that animals do not have a fucking conscience. He believes that animals do not have a conscience.
I
and
personally
only
believe
humans.
animals do not have a conscience.
They're like a flat
No, they
earther.
don't.
That's disgusting.
What do you mean? There's very little scientific proof that an animal has a consciousness.
And there's very little scientific proof that animals do have a conscience.
Did you just say there was little scientific proof that animals do have a consciousness?
That don't have a conscience.
Okay. In 2012, the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness crystallized a scientific consensus that humans are not the only conscious beings and that non-human animals, including all mammals and birds and many other creatures, including octopuses, possess neurological substrates complex enough to support consciousness.
That's literally what I told you in Paula's room, that like animals had to have a conscience to do certain actions.
It's not true. An animal is run by instincts, which is something that we as humans have lost over time. And we run on our conscience.
But we still also have an instinct and a conscience that's telling us
we do have an instinct, right? We do have an instinct, but as we progressively became more and more intellectual, we started going away from those instincts because we didn't need them anymore. And instead we focus on consciousness to make the decisions that we make. But
instincts and consciousness are two different things. Consciousness is what leads us to do right from wrong. But you're bringing instincts. I mean, wait, what's the word?
Instincts.
Instincts into this. Instincts don't have like any correlation. It's just straight up conscience and like a soul.
They do though. They do though, because the reason why instincts are a thing is because animals don't have the ability to make thoughts.
No, an octopus is a prime example. That's what Melanie just said from the Cambridge study.
You're telling me that this fucking parrot doesn't have fucking consciousness?
Don't you remember fucking psychology?
Those bitches talk and they
talk.
Psychology class quite literally proved that that bird, which by the way was named Alex, did not have a consciousness. It literally proved it did not.
Near even like levels of consciousness have been observed.
That bird focused on patterns, which is the most you can argue for an animal having consciousness, which is it's able to recognize patterns. What it cannot do is have a consciousness because animals don't have a consciousness.
But you can't say they don't when you say that there's also there's little scientific proof to prove that.
You can't say that
you can't just say they don't.
Because
some animals might not, but I think most animals do based on like what they do on their actions. Like octopus, they have a conscience. Cats, they have a conscience. All animals, in my opinion, have a conscience.
My dog has a conscience, and I stand by that. Both of them, all of the animals.
It's part of like the thinking process that they go through.
I think it's so wild to think that we're the only things on this fucking.
That's not wild.
You just watch Interstellar.
That is wild to think. Like what? It's like those people that say that aliens aren't real. I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
That's not comparable at all.
That is comparable.
There is life outside of Earth. You're basically saying that we're the only like freaking things capable of like thought, and like that's not true. That's not true.
In Earth, at this moment, we're the only beings capable of intellectual thoughts. through consciousness.
Dolphins.
My dog can
Dolphins
spit.
and elephants are, I
My
think,
dog
like
can
the two
spit.
like closest, and monkeys.
Okay, another thing with consciousness, you bring up moral and ethical barriers.
Another
These
prime
animals,
example is the Yamamoto study. That literally proves that animals have a conscience and an awareness of what's going on around them and what the apes
it's
need.
just awareness. That is not
No, but
consciousness.
consciousness and awareness do like that actually does correlate. 'cause
They
that's
do. They
why-
do.
Yeah, I know.
They do go hand in hand. But you also have to realize that monkeys are descendants of us. So if you're gonna argue
No,
that
we're
any
descendants
animal,
of monkeys.
that's what I meant.
It's backwards.
If you're gonna argue that any animal has a consciousness, the one you could argue the most is probably monkeys and elephants
And dolphins.
and the
and dolphins.
parrot, and the gray parrot.
I don't think the gray parrot has
Okay,
a
but like
consciousness.
I'm not asking you what you think. Like according to fucking like .org, like a scientific, like I don't know, like scientific website.
Okay, wait.
Like,
.org is an organization, and that can
okay,
be.
shut up. You know what I meant? I'm saying like according to like literally people who study this, it's debatable. Like a lot of them are saying that yes, most animals do possess like their own consciousness and like their conscious beings and whatever. So I'm gonna have to agree with Sasha on this one.
Woo.
Woo. And I would also like to remind you guys that we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
We just slayed that.
Look, they're so cute. Me.
I wanna own one of those.
Monkeys are so funny.
Monkeys are so cute. Like they're so like
That
random.
was racist of you. Anyway, back to we're not the only people in the universe. Have you guys watched Interstellar? Interstellar is
love
such a cool
Interstellar.
movie, but it's so good. I watched it the other day and I felt like I was in another planet with them.
I was
Oh.
actually thinking about Interstellar just because the whole kind of story talks about fourth-dimensional like beings.
Mhm.
And I actually like just saw a TikTok explaining how like to a two-dimensional reality, if a third dimension like us flip, you're gonna need to watch the video. I won't be able to explain it. But anyways, that it just triggered my memory of Interstellar. But animals don't have a consciousness,
They
at
do.
least in the progressive level that we do, because they run on instincts.
I can agree that they're not on our level of consciousness. Yes, I can agree with that. But you simply just can't say that they don't.
So
Because
then
that
what
implies
is
that-
the level of consciousness that you could achieve to actually be conscious?
To our knowledge right now, we don't know what level we can reach because we haven't fully like gone to that point in research.
We're aware of ourselves. We're aware that we're alive. We're aware of other people. We're able to think complex thoughts that animals cannot think of at all.
No, that's not right because octopus
An
they
animal
Octopus
can
have are a prime example of figuring out complex like
okay,
things.
but
We have less than 1 minute. Would we like to continue this or like
we start another Zoom because I still want to talk about this.
okay, wait. Let me stop my recording and
Carly.
By the way, can you guys hear me good? Like, okay.
no, you should be careful. You should turn your mic off.
Anyways, so I pulled up an article, and I would like to reiterate the fact that this is exactly what I said.
So we're just copy and pasting now what people say. Got it.
This person copy and pasted what I said. But anyways, they said this. When you try to answer this fascinating question, I found out you get a wide variety of opinions. Most scientists maintain that mammals like dogs, elephant, primates, and dolphins have very high level cognitive abilities, but lack the spiritual faculties of human, a soul, a conscious, and a transcendent spirit. A small number of contemporary animals behaviorists, however, have begun to conclude that the animals do have moral lives. Dale Patterson, who wrote The Moral Lives of Animals, makes the claim that the function of morality or the moral organ is to negotiate the inherent serious conflicts between self and others. Peterson then concludes that animals, especially those that instinctively group together in packs, flocks or herds, have evolved what he calls moral ways of peaceful coexistence. That may be true, but human beings make considered moral choices from a completely different perspective. The empathy that comes from understanding, reflecting on, and making judgments, all utilizing an informed conscience. No animal, as far as we've been able to discover, has that ability.
How old is that research?
This is 2015.
Okay, that's pretty old.
It is pretty old.
It's not that reliable.
Well,
But
I'm about my life.
but that's like to our understanding of, do we
Right,
think
to our
animals
understanding. But the research we've done so far has pointed to the fact that animals heavily rely on their instincts to make their decisions.
because that's the only way they know. But they know that they're making
Right.
that
The only way they
decision
know because they don't have the intellectual ability to have thoughts like we have thoughts.
but it's also different from us because we live a different life from them. Like,
I think you're trying to like classify like consciousness by like human consciousness, and like it's too like they're conscious, but like obviously they don't have like they don't speak English. They don't like obviously
You don't need a consciousness in order to speak a language.
okay, I'm
because-
saying like it's different. I don't know how to put this into words. I guess like just start by looking at like how conscious, like how it's defined. Like the very definition like of being consciousness is just being awake and aware of a person's surroundings.
and a lot of animals do.
And
Have
animals are aware of their surroundings, and they're aware of themselves, and they're aware of other like animals, and I don't know, like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you're trying to classify consciousness by like this
Conscience.
standard.
Conscience, this is the definition of conscience, is a cognitive process that elicits emotion and rational associations based on an individual's moral philosophy or value system. An animal does not have a moral philosophy.
Of
They run
course
on
they do.
instinct.
But it's not the same level as us because we feel emotion compared to animals. Animals, they can't feel emotion because they're in the wild. They have to rely.
No. The thing is, you're contradicting yourself because if an animal doesn't have emotions, then they don't have a consciousness because the
You don't have
definition of
to-
conscious. What do you
don't
mean?
have to
The
have emotions
definition.
to have a conscience.
Yes, you do. The point of a consciousness is that you have emotions.
No.
Animals do have emotions.
They
They like okay, for example, if like let's say a pack of dolphins, if like a very important member of like the pack like dies or anything, it's been like research has been shown that like you can see like how the animals like negatively like react to like a member of their pack's death. Like are you
Dolphins
saying?
also rape other dolphins.
Okay, but like okay.
but
So,
to
like,
them,
humans
they don't think it's
other
raping.
humans too. Like what
Right, but the
a,
people who
a sociopath and a psychopath are like can be an example of having no emotions but still having a conscience of what they're doing and an awareness of what they're doing.
the difference is even then, even with the dude who killed these 4 people, he even said that he feels no remorse and he feels like he is not himself. He feels like he isn't a person. So even then, he lacks some sort of empathy, which is what's important to be conscious. But like I said, consciousness baseline definition is that you have to have moral philosophy and empathy. And an animal does not have that. Therefore, they're not conscious. You can't warp the definition of consciousness in order to fit it into an animal's perspective because that's just not how it works. They're just not conscious. They
are conscious.
They're not.
They have to have a conscience to live.
An animal does not have to have a consciousness to live.
Yes,
They rely on instincts. That's what pushes them to survive. That's what gets them to go for food. That's what gets them to drink water. Like
and you don't think that's a conscience like in somewhere in their brain simply telling them, okay, this is what you have to do in order to live? That's an awareness of, okay, I have to do this, and that's also
it's not.
Yes.
Not.
Yes.
It's not. That's an instinct.
No.
I think that
It's
we
like,
should
okay,
end-
I'm gonna use instinct as a human. My instinct, let's say there's a falling baby. I have a conscience telling me that there's a falling baby, and I'm aware of that falling baby. So my instinct is to put my arm out and catch him. That's the same thing for an animal. They can be starving, and they're aware that they're starving. That's their conscience telling them that they're starving. So on instinct, they're gonna like, in order to survive, based on instinct, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go hunt right now. That's their instinct to go hunt. It's a conscience and an instinct.
Their instinct does not stem from a consciousness.
No,
You
it
don't
does.
need to have a consciousness in order to have an instinct.
I think you do.
You know, turtles, sea turtles, they give birth, and I might be wrong about this. They give birth and they lay their shells where they were born. They go back and they instinctively know where they were born. That's an instinct. That's not based on a consciousness. That's not a memory
That's
thing either.
not instinct. That's like a memory thing of, I don't know, but I don't even know how like turtles just
Okay,
know to go back to their
But
thing.
would you argue that in order to have a conscious, you should be having the ability to remember things?
In order to have a conscience, you have to remember things. Yes. You just contradicted yourself though, right there.
No, because the difference is these animals use patterns in order to get that knowledge. They don't
But
use
how do they have? But turtles lay eggs. You're not conscious when you're in an egg. You don't observe these patterns when
you're
you're
not
in an
you're not
egg.
conscious if you're a turtle in the first place.
No, you are. No, you are
You're
conscious.
so aggravating.
You
No, this is
are.
aggravating because I'm quite literally showing you how consciousness is in fact not seen in
Okay.
animals.
Okay, but
No,
you're-
it is.
okay,
There's
you're saying
been studies.
there's been like there's studies like disproving you, and obviously there's gonna be studies
No.
from
The
both sides.
studies that are saying that animals have a heightened ability to like almost have consciousness, it's not consciousness. And I told you in this article, it's not a consciousness, it's other aspects that they function on
Okay.
alongside their instincts
so
in order to be able.
Here's like my thing though. You're saying like these other articles like are wrong. So you're saying like these other like articles like by like scientific research. You're saying like you're just disproving them like right now. They're all wrong, all of them.
I'm not saying they're necessarily wrong. I think they're capable of being incorrect, and they're capable of having a misconceived idea of what a consciousness is for an animal, because an animal does not have a consciousness, but they have these other abilities like their instincts and like these other things that I had mentioned before in order to be able to cooperate with other animals, like we saw in the case of Yamamoto, where these apes were able to relate to each other and they were able to help each other. That's
But
not
they
a
weren't able to relate
consciousness.
to each other because they were in different scenarios. One didn't have a straw, and the other one had the resources. They're like in different scenarios. And the monkey has like this conscious. Okay, like this one's begging for help, so I'm gonna give them what they need. I feel like a conscious.
You could, I guess, you could somewhat argue with that, but like I said, apes and just monkeys are closer to us than a lot of other animals. So you could say, you could almost say that you could see the process of how a being evolves consciousness through apes, because these apes aren't conscious, but like I said, they have these abilities that help them almost seem conscious in a way, but that's something an ant doesn't have. You get what I mean? What stops an ant from having a consciousness than any other animal? Like what's the baseline of what is considered an animal to have a consciousness? You get what I mean? Because if you're arguing that an animal can have a consciousness, then generally any animal can have a consciousness, including fish and insects.
I think all animals do have conscience, but it's different levels. Like what we know,
There's no such thing as different levels of
there
consciousness.
is because there's different understandings. Like we know how we communicate. We know to what we like, to our extent, we're the highest in this earth that have this level of consciousness. You know what I'm trying to get at? Like
Okay.
humans are right now at the top of the pyramid. And there's a whole bunch of animals. Ants could probably be at the bottom of the consciousness list.
Okay. The problem is that that's just not how consciousness is defined at all. Consciousness is defined as having moral philosophy, ethical
Explain to me
boundaries,
what moral
emotions
philosophy is.
of what a person's philosophy is.
No, explain to me what moral philosophy is.
So basically, like your limits to knowing that like killing somebody is wrong, that raping somebody is wrong, that there are certain things that you will stop yourself from doing because that's like your moral high ground. You just won't do those things.
Okay,
And
then
that
animals have
changes.
that.
No, they don't. But that changes for every human because every human has a different moral philosophy. That's something that an animal does not
So do
have.
animals.
An animal is not.
If you can go, there are zoos where their lions are like super friendly with the humans, and that's a moral philosophy, knowing that this person is good, so they will
Not
not.
a moral philosophy. That's a learned behavior.
That's not learned.
That is a learned
There's
behavior.
also it's scientifically proven that sometimes you can't train lions. Lions, they know the difference between they can know the difference between a human and what's for dinner. That's what they know. That's a
Okay,
moral
wait. You kind of just disproved yourself. The lion is hard to train because they're running on their instincts, and their instinct is to kill
No.
and eat.
I'm talking about, let's say, for a zoo. We don't know about animal, like a wild. But no, actually we can use for the wild because there's lions that can go up to like the little car and just smell around it, and they just know not to go for that thing. You would say their instinct tells them to go, but some simply would just be like, no, I don't want to mess with this thing. That's like having a moral compass.
No, that's not necessarily a moral
Yes.
compass.
And then for the definition of consciousness is the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings, the awareness of perception of something by a person, the fact of awareness by the mind of self and the world. I don't know what definition you search. I probably search up like the Webster. No, what's the other one? I don't know the other one.
My favorite color has kind of like changed lately. So let's talk about it. So I feel like
Okay.
I've always been like a blue girl, but then I was like a green girl, as you can see, like I have a lot of green. But recently, like, I don't know, like I've just been feeling like a pink girl. And you could also
Like
see,
baby pink.
yeah, like look, it's so cute. And
I
then
definitely see that.
So you're just conforming to societal standards.
wow. Okay, so like all my life I've been really against pink because I feel like pink is so girly, and I feel like I've never really been like at that like stage of girliness. But I think that I am there. And so yeah, I've been really into pink. Look, it's pink.
Well, my favorite color is red. And fun fact, did you know women back in the day, like they had to pick berries, right? Like different berries to know which one's poison, which one's healthy. And women now have evolved and like have a higher perception of like different colors from men because of evolution. It just like ran down. And that's a little fun fact.
That's great. I'm so glad we can see more.
And also like the fact that like women are very unlikely to be colorblind is
Wait,
like
actually?
yeah. Most of the time men are colorblind, not women.
Oh, that's
Think
such
of a woman that is colorblind.
Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
I knew you guys were gonna say Helen Keller, but it's just I hate to break it to you, she was just completely blind.
She
Okay,
was
that's
actually
false.
completely fake.
That's false. She wasn't even real. How the fuck did
Yeah,
she fly a plane if she was blind? Are you telling
She
me
was real. She was a fucking social experiment. Like,
it wasn't real? Like the government just wanted to see like how much like we could be literally like gaslit and how much we would believe. But I think at some point they started adding like a little bit too much, and it just got like too untrue. So
literally, like you telling me you flew a fucking plane
wrong.
simply doesn't happen when you're blind. Sorry to tell you.
Actually, my granddad was
Cool.
in the. Okay, wait. Let me continue.
Okay.
He was in the military when he came from Cuba, and he is partially blind, but I don't even mean like partially, like a little bit blind. I just mean like he like barely can see. Like he can
Oh,
only see from his
like
left.
cataracts in his eyes type thing.
I'm not really sure what it was, but basically like he could basically only see through his left eye, but even that was messed up, and he still flew a plane while he was in the military in the United States.
But he has partial vision.
Not
Helen
barely,
Keller,
like
he
even in
was
his left eye, he had very little vision in that left eye.
even though Helen Keller's did like apparently she flew with a co-pilot, like she was a co-pilot and there was another pilot, but I still don't believe it.
I guess that's more likely. I mean, I don't know.
But like you wrote a whole book too.
Okay, that's not really that hard because if you're
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
she was blind. Okay, well, she was blind
She
and
was
deaf.
she was blind and deaf and
But I mean, you could write a book when you're
And a
blind.
woman.
Oh, you say that like it's like
no,
a
but he brings up a valid point because how as a woman are they gonna let you fly back in her time? How are they gonna let you write a book? They didn't
Wait,
even
wait,
walk into them.
what was her time? Like when was she alive?
That's a great question.
like 19 something. Like in early 1900s or like late 18s.
Okay, but can we talk about time periods? I love talking about time periods. I think it's very interesting.
1880.
1880s?
There's pictures of her.
1880s.
That's gotta be wrong.
That's like 4 years after my mom was born. That's not right.
Your mom was
1880?
not born ass.
Mom was hold on.
Wait, you said 1880 or 1980?
1880. Your mom
Oh,
was
never mind.
your mom is from the
Blowed.
I'm not recording. So
Okay. Anyways, so we were talking. Okay, by the way, we got interrupted because Melanie's computer died. But
that's actually wrong. What happened was that Andy kicked me out of the Zoom. And then
how did me
Close for my burrito.
Oreo?
Wait, hold on, not yet. Okay, go. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so talking about time periods, I bought a bunch of film slides from the 1950s through the 1990s. And basically these come from just like random ass people, right? So
What if like there's like a soft porn there?
there was one slide that said a name, like a woman's name, and then it said nude after. And the picture was like very like you could barely see it, but I think it's just a statue that I guess is called that.
Oh,
So I did get tricked. I definitely did think that there was some pornography in the
what if there's like
you
a
know.
did you search up the name? Maybe it is a statue.
Oh fuck, I don't know if it's gonna show up.
yeah.
I can't really see.
I can't really see either. But
Whatever. It's an old lady.
what if you find like murder pictures, like someone being killed?
I was actually hoping to find that too.
Hoping.
And I was also hoping to find like anything like historical because then I would be able to like give it to like a museum. But
That
I
was
think it's
so
really
geeky
interesting.
of you. You said a museum.
Anyways, I think I'm really hot right now. Give me a second. Let me get my fan. Actually, let me not get my fan because it's gonna make a lot of noise. But anyways, fuck, this chair stuck.
But no, yeah, time periods are actually very weird thing because if you really think about it, it's all fake. It's all really fake. No, I'm just kidding. But it's crazy to think how quick time like passes by. Like in 5 months, we're already through like halfway through the year. We're basically in 2024.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
It's crazy that I'm taking my SATs in March, or that we.
Don't remind us.
Sorry, you gotta get on that. Gotta start buying those books. I'm already.
To be honest, I'm not gonna study.
You're apparently not gonna get into college either.
I'm gonna study a little bit on the math portion just because that's really what I need help on. But like, to be honest,
Yeah, for real. How do you even study for like reading?
There's like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
and stuff out there, like
I believe in that.
the grammar part. You could study for that.
Okay, grammar, yeah, grammar you can't study for it, but
I think the math is like the hardest. It's like one of the areas that I'm really like looking to improve in. So
Anyway, on to bigger things.
My career.
Oh,
Down the
that's
drain.
really small. That hasn't, no, it's not even gonna progress.
For small businesses. Remember your sticker company?
Your failed sticker company.
I don't really recall.
It was called like Blast Off stickers, and you were selling
No,
stickers for like
I don't think that
$7.
existed. By the way, that whole thing I said about my grandpa was not true. Just made
I
that up.
literally knew it. I had a feeling like there's no.
But
Like,
That was a really good one though.
doesn't your
Thank you.
grandfather literally like live with you?
Like I'm pretty sure I saw him
Yeah,
that
like
one
I
time.
like he's there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what?
it could have literally easily been my other grandfather.
I could have said I was gonna say something, but I held it in me. I was like, maybe I don't know, maybe he has like another one.
I do have another one,
Obviously, from like mom.
but he's not with us. He's in Cuba.
Oh, you're such a
I
prankster.
thought
Walk
you
the plank.
said,
Wait, is it walk the plank or walk the prank?
Walk the prank.
prank because we're not on a.
What? Yeah, why would it be?
We're not in like the middle of the sea. Like what?
What's a plank? Oh, it's this thing on the ship. Never mind.
Actually, though, like there's so many experiences that I want to do. One of them is like having an abortion, but that's impossible for me. But one of them would also be to like just get like pushed off a plane on a ship.
You
Or
say,
like free falling.
you say things sometimes, and I
Yeah.
question like our friendship.
So free falling to your death. Got it.
Yeah.
Skydive.
But exactly.
That's what I want to do. I'm gonna go skydiving. I'm gonna go.
Actually, I don't want to skydive, to be honest. Like I feel like would be too scared to skydive.
What a loser.
You're skydiving.
What would you say?
Do indoor skydiving.
That just sounds stupid.
No, it's like a real thing. They put you in a little suit, and then they have like you have air coming up and down, and then you go.
And you just like lay like that.
Yeah.
But that's like not like at the same.
Okay, then get on a fucking plane and jump out. Like it's
Literally.
hard. Like, you have your options. Pick whichever one you want, and do it.
You know what? I'm gonna start my own business.
And it's gonna
About-
flop.
Can I freaking finish? I'm gonna start my own business, and it's gonna be indoor skydiving. But what's the one thing I'm gonna sell this to you guys, and you guys have to tell me if I made a good like point. So when you go into indoor skydiving, it's not the same as real skydiving because you don't see the views around you. So with my new business idea, I will make an indoor skydiving with it's so high up in the air that you look down and you see the real world. So
It's like a kite.
Huh?
Like
what?
a kite.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah, let's connect this.
Like a
Why would it be like a kite? Have you ever seen indoor skydiving? Like how it's like set up?
well, he said really high in the sky, so I'm
Yeah,
thinking
like I think it's like the place, like really high.
Yeah, like a big like tower.
Yeah. I don't think he meant
when there's like surrounding windows where you can just like stay inside and see. Oh, well, that's really fucking boring.
On the
you know what would be cool if you do like a glass floor so that you can see.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get.
I was saying a glass floor and then glass windows all around, so it literally just looks like you're like suspended in air, and so you could have the views while you are indoor skydiving, so that it's those for the people who don't actually want to skydive and potentially risk their life.
I was like thinking something like it's like a bowl, right? Like a bowl. And then you are held by a string, but like you got jets like pushing you into the air, and you're like outside, and it's not indoor, right? Like just the building, like where you go and pay and stuff. And then you have like this string attached to you, pulling you in the air, and you're just like just there. But clearly we were on different pages.
What I keep thinking of is, have you seen those little like glider thingies that people get on and they look like little Doritos?
Yeah.
I
Isn't
think
it called paragliding?
yeah, I think that's your vision.
Yeah, I think that's what you're imagining.
Unfortunately,
No.
I don't really think that's like what a lot of people are gonna go for.
She thought she had a breakthrough
you.
idea, and she
To
just-
you.
I mean,
What's your favorite Little Debbie treat?
that was so random.
Debbie treat? What's a Debbie treat?
Oh wait. Oh my god, I thought we weren't recording for a second. That's my
You
bad.
don't know Little Debbie?
Oh, like Twinkies and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, zebra cake. You don't
Um,
like zebra cake?
Personally, I love honey buns and
Oh my gosh,
I
honey
also
buns are so good.
and causing brownies. I know they're more like controversial.
they're honestly like
They
mid.
kind of went like downhill.
Yeah, like they were good when I was a kid, but like now I can't even get like more than 2 bites in without being like repulsed.
Or without getting chocolate stuck in all of my teeth.
Honestly, yeah, that's like the biggest downside. It's all the chocolate. Ugh.
But,
Also,
like,
I feel like we should leave a message for the people we know. You know,
I
I've
really
actually
don't
never
like
had
any of you
that.
guys.
these are so good. It's between these and the Swiss rolls, but I prefer.
Aren't those called like Twinkies?
No. Have you ever seen what a fucking Twinkie looks like?
This is my favorite.
Wait, what did you say?
What?
What did you say?
I said
Gosh, we gotta cut this part out. We gotta like put it.
it's okay. I didn't like
That a gunshot? Hello?
no that wasn't
Um,
no, my brother dropped his water bottle
she's witnessing her own
onto
murder.
the lawn.
Well,
I think we
so we should leave a message for the people we know.
Okay, I have mine.
That was really quick. Okay, say it.
I really don't like any of you guys. You guys get on my nerves. And that's all I have to say.
real. I support that message. I would like to say something. So like my friends don't really watch this because they honestly like couldn't really care less about like this podcast, but my cousins watch this and my sister watches it.
Oh, they're so supportive.
I know, such a supportive little
My
family.
sister would laugh in my face.
Oh, but you know what? Like you guys can laugh about it together, like over a McDonald's or like a Chick-fil-A, over a meal.
You're right
So
here.
my message to you guys is be you, be who you are. Wait, actually, can I play something really quickly? I have a message. This is my message to everybody. Ready? Hold on.
We can't even fucking hear it.
Hold on.
I still can't hear
We
it.
still can't hear it.
Okay, y'all already know who I am. My name is Topher,
Um,
and I think, sorry, it's like really good. You guys should listen to it. It's really good.
I'm gonna target specific people with my message. I want to publicly announce that I hate Lily and she should die. So I hope she
love
watches
Lily.
this. I hope she watches this and realizes what a terrible person she is.
I want to say I love all my friends. They are like the best people in the world.
You're contradicting yourself.
No, but
Just
I
seconds ago, you
actually
said something
do
different.
like hanging around with them. They're just my people. They can go fuck themselves.
Wow.
I'm ready for
Um,
dinner.
What?
He gets murdered.
No, it's green in the back.
Yeah,
Oh my God, there's something in your window.
You're so funny.
That was a
Don't
good
fucking scare
one.
me like that. My window's fucking open.
Why's your window open?
Close it.
Because the weather outside is delightful. You see what I did there? Really good.
It's time to close it.
Okay, well, we have like 5 minutes left, so let's like say our goodbyes. And I'm
Okay,
gonna say a goodbye just in case I die, and this is the last podcast I'm ever able to do. So you guys go first.
Okay, I want to say I like it was a great being part of here. I just want to say, Andy, your argument for consciousness was totally ass. Do better.
Yes.
But yeah.
Um, Melanie, you're gonna say anything?
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky.
Okay, we're gonna cut that short.
No, I have things that I need to say, and I want to say them now.
Oh, she's gonna say a speech.
So I'm so grateful for everyone, not all, for everyone who watches this. I'm so grateful that you guys are enjoying it. And if you guys ever want to be like a guest star, leave a comment or reach out to any of us. I know that we might look like we're really busy and like we're super cool and like we have like a lot going on and like we
Yes,
don't
we are.
people and like
Yeah, I'm
we
busy.
don't want to fucking talk to you and then we don't fucking like you. Like that's actually like not
Very-
be true, but like it could be true because like we may not like you. So like always double check that we don't hate you. And to all of the people that we do like, thank you so much. Like and comment, follow my Instagram at Melanie Flores. Follow Sasha's Instagram. Don't follow Andy's Instagram, block him, mute him on Twitter.
Sponsored by Champion.
Yeah, so that's all I had to say. Like, goodbye. Love to all my fans.
Okay, so my goodbye. I first want to say that Melanie's goodbye was a long way to say nothing. And Sasha, I guess maybe you just don't have. I guess maybe you don't have a processed enough consciousness to be able to understand the point I made on consciousness.
You know,
No,
you
no,
don't need
no, no. This is not your moment to
critical
speak. This is
thinking
not your
for
moment to
that.
speak.
Which
Don't
animals
even.
do have critical
Don't
thinking?
even. Don't even.
I think
Anyways.
Andy just loves to argue, and I think like we have to stop him from arguing because sometimes his argument is like really stupid.
Well, anyways, so goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching this. If this is the last podcast I've ever made, I want to set a good example. So, peace and love. Stop all
Chicken grease.
wars. Stop killing people and be a
Stop
better
offending.
person like me. So, thank you for watching the In the AM podcast.
Information is really
if Andy
problematic.
dies-
He's
if
not. Don't be like him.
If Andy dies, I'll take over, and we will still have so much fun. Sasha will take his place, and we will co-host.
Yes, I want to be co-host. Fuck you, Andy.
Bye. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Wait.
Wait, hold on. No. Okay, because I need like at least some type of light.
Should I make my light red to like make it scary?
Yeah, make it
Already?
spooky, scary.
Oh wait, no, that doesn't work because I have to have like.
Wait, hold up. I'm turning it red.
Oh, Melanie disappeared.
Why are my lights working? I'm scared.
That could be the one right there.
Oh, my Bluetooth was disconnected. Okay, and then 1 second.
Why is it hiding?
One
like,
second.
like,
You know what? This is as good as it's gonna get. So,
There's a Skeeter in here.
okay, ready? Everyone act shocked. 3, 2, 1.
That's my bad.
Anyways, okay, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.